Today, we're going to be picking up from where we left off on the analysis that I did on Bitcoin, right? So this was about 5 days ago, moves that I called on Bitcoin. And obviously, there's a couple of things have taken place, right? Good and bad, depending on how you look at it. So we're just going to get into all of that right now. And hopefully, obviously, you guys are going to enjoy this video I'm about to share with you. So with that said and done, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, you turn on the notification, and you drop us a like. Why? Because I'm helping you get to the bag, and obviously you don't want to miss a video on any analysis that I talk about. Why? Because it's helping you get to the bag, right? It's really simple. It just depends on how you see it. So if you find any value in what it is that I'm going to be talking about to you all today, then obviously you do what is required, which is you do the prompts, which is subscribe, like, turn on the notification, or drop us a comment. I mean, the comment is way more valuable to me because I get to engage with you all. So with that said and done, we're going to get into the business of the day. So quick recap on what we talked about last week. Then we're going to go into a little bit of details about that. And then we're then going to obviously naturally look at new opportunities that may present itself in the Bitcoin space. So as it stood last week, I put on a sell icon, a short icon onto the chart just to see how everything would look by the time I did the next video, which is this video right here, right? So what we can clearly see is that we had price come in, right? We had price come in. So let's look at when price was triggered. So price triggered itself in on Monday, right? So price came in. Then we basically sat in red on a Monday, on a Tuesday, on a Thursday. So Monday, whoops, sorry. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we became profitable on Thursday, right? Then on the Friday, price did the retracement, and now we're in the red, right? That's how everything looks now, right? Okay, so let's get into that and let's see how we could have basically managed this space effectively, right? How we could have managed it all, right? So basically, I mean, how it could have gone is like this. Once price went profitable, the smart play would have been to bring in a trailing stop. Bearing in mind, chances of you bringing in a trailing stop, if you're anything like me, would not have happened. Why? Because we was expecting price to come all the way into this area over here, okay? And the trailing stop, if any, would have been around this level, which would have been around 103k, right? Once price came into it. But the main thing that I actually want to bring into your attention was the entry that I put down versus the best entry in the game. So the entry that I put down for the sake of the video, right, was I pull it under certain levels, not a certain level, at a swing low, a potential swing low. So I was looking at, I think I call this a channel. So I put it just under here somewhere, hence why we can see the trigger of it, of price activating. Then we sat in reds. But in all fairness, the best level to actually I should have put down as a potential entry target should have been around 105k. At around 105k, I think we would have been doing quite well, and we probably would be sitting in profit right now. So I'm in two minds as to whether I should keep this thing going or I should remove it, right? So why I'm thinking if I should keep this thing going or not is that a part of me believes it's going to go down lower. But then there is another part that's saying to me that price is actually about to take off and push to the upside. So as I continue with this analysis and we look to see if there's any opportunities we can find within it, this is when I will decide what is the best thing to do and when we should do it. So with that said, we're going to get rid of this for now, right? Because you've explained it. We sat in red from the moment we got in for a hot minute, and then we went blue, right? We were in profit, and then now we're back in red, right? Some may see this as a good thing, some may see this as a bad thing, but this is just the markets, right? So we're going to jump out of this for now because there's no need for this anymore, right? We're also going to get rid of this FVG zone that I marked out because we don't need that anymore. And we're also going to get rid of this price point because we don't need that anymore either. Neither do we need the one above, right? What we are very interested in though is finding out the weekly low of last week just gone, as well as the weekly highs and the weekly lows of this week, because we can now mark them out. So we can see that we had a weekly high on the Tuesday, and we can see that the weekly low was set for us on the Thursday. We can see both. We need to work out the ones in this area. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to use this level for that. Just going to drop this down. We're going to make this black, and we're going to use this one as well because this could come in handy. Let me use the correct pointer, and then we're going to bring in the weekly high on that one as well. And then we want to mark out the weekly low of this week, which we can basically use because we're heading into next week now. And we're going to keep that as is. So let's just bring in weekly low. And then we're going to bring in the weekly high right now. Okay. And then we're going to lock that in place, weekly high. So we have them both in place right now. We can see weekly low was taken out and we're getting higher lows as Bitcoin descends downwards into what looks to me to be a descending flag. And we all know one thing about descending flags is that they have a high probability of pushing to the upside. And I believe I should be able to explain a use case scenario as to why I believe this particular move over here is going to be going up, supposing to down, right? So I'm just going to ration that out to you guys, and then you can let us know how you feel about that. So this is what we got going on right now at the moment. For now, the levels of these things aren't that important. They will become important later on, but they're not that important right now. Right, so the first thing that we have in trying to understand, actually, as a matter of fact, let me bring this on board. So this is where this analysis starts to get really, really, really good, right? This is where it starts to get good. Okay. This is where it really starts to get good, because some of you may have seen this, some of you may not have seen it, but either way, I'm going to point this out to you. Okay. So within this flag, because this flag is telling an amazing story as to what could happen in the future, okay? And it is quite strong, the story that it is telling us right now, okay? So looking at this on the hour, okay, we can see that this low value node area, we had our first rejection on the Thursday, okay? We have a descending flag right now. So this is the descending flag that we have right now, what price is currently doing. Now, this is what I think is going to take place in the coming days, right? In the coming days. I don't think it's going to be weeks. I think it's in the coming days, and it's most likely going to take place next week, right? Which is, I believe price is going to come down to this low value node area, right? Then it's going to take off. Okay, then it's going to take off. So this point right now, what I will be doing is I will be putting in a fake buy position right here. We're going to cover the low side of the low value node, and we're going to push this all the way up to about here, right? We're going to push this all the way up to about here. I think this level right here, so this level of 102k 729 is a good level to think about entries. Okay, as to the stops, you're going to have to decide what makes sense to you. Right now, as it stands, BTC at the moment is a bit like gold, right? It's just moving one way, which is up, right? So in my opinion, it might not be necessary to put in a stop just because of how BTC is moving. But at the same time, we have to bear in mind what BTC actually is, right? And BTC is just zeros and ones. It has no intrinsic value. So knowing that, I would rather you protected yourself and put in a stop at this level right here. knowing that trading BTC essentially is pure speculation. Okay, it's very different to doing assets, currencies, stocks, or indices, right? It's very, very, very different because all of them have intrinsic value assigned to them, but BTC really doesn't. Right, it really doesn't. No matter what way you look at it, it actually doesn't. So I would say put in your stop at around this level right here, which will be around 98k. So lock that in place, so make sure that is secured, right? However, if you're one of these guys that absolutely believes that BTC is going to go all the way to the moon, etc., and it's not going to come down, or if it does come down, it's not going to be down for long, then actually you can take the steps that makes more sense to you. But this is how I actually would do it, right? I would target, if this is a trade, I will target 111k as my TP, right? 111k as my TP. And once price enters 106, I'm expecting it to go parabolic all the way up to the level that I mentioned, possibly even beyond that. Right? So that is the play, how I would actually do it based on what I'm seeing right now. So we're just going to jump into the day real quick, and let's just see if what I'm saying has any merit to it, right? Now, in my opinion, it kind of does. There is merit to what it is that I'm saying, and once I show it to you in this way, it's going to make a little bit of sense. So tomorrow, or the day after that, it would be logical to see price back into this zone right here. It would be logical, in my opinion. Okay, but looking at the move so far, okay, all we basically need is for last week's high to be taken out for, this week's high. So the week that we're currently leaving from. So this week, right? All we need is this week's high to be taken out for everything to make sense, right? So in my opinion, once we get to Sunday, we're in a new week, and today is Saturday right now, right? So if anything, I'm expecting price down here tomorrow. I'm expecting price at 101 tomorrow. That's just in my opinion. And then on the Monday, I'm expecting it to begin to make his move to the upside. Okay, I may be right, I could be wrong, but we'll see how everything goes. And once it takes out 106 803, sorry, that's when I know it's going to be pushing up, right? That will be the absolute confirmation. But for entries, I'll be looking at it at 102. Right, exactly as I laid out in this video. That's how I think it's going to play out. I may be right, I could be wrong, only time will tell. So on that note, until we do the next video, I'm going to keep this Fugazi long position on the chart right now. So we're going to keep that there, and we're going to see how everything kind of pans out. And we'll see how it goes. So it's either will be stopped out, right, or it's going to continue pushing up. If it continues pushing up, happy days. But hopefully it's going to be a lot better move than what we had last week, where we had, I don't know, good couple of days of just red, and then we had one day where it went blue, and then the following day it went back red again. Hopefully this time around it's just going to be a straight or pure profit to the upside. Based on this analysis, I think we're going to get that, but let's see how it all pans out. So with all of that said and done, if you found this video useful, or you stayed with this video up until now, you definitely owe me a subscribe, because once again, I've poured my heart out in sharing with you the best possible analysis I could give you, right? And if you want to stay up to date with all of my analysis on all the assets I talk about, it makes sense to be subscribed and have the notification turned on, so whenever a video drops, you're one of the first to see it. And with that said and done, I will see all you lovely people again on the next one very, very soon.